The secret to closing more deals, right? That's what you want, the silver bullet, the thing that's going to get you to your goals. Here's the thing. When you want to close more deals, it's one of two things that you've got to do. One, increase pipeline. I talk about it all the time. Number two is increase the close rate. Ideally, you do both. You have an increased pipeline and your close rate goes up and you're able to really start to scale. Today, we're going to be focusing in on the close rate and the things that you have to do to increase your close rate. Now, a common mistake that I see over and over again, you have a playbook or you even have somebody, a manager, a leader that's jumping on calls, and it's a very rigid process of these are the things that you have to do. Your discovery call needs to have these things that we need to gather. This is how you do your demo, and everything is very mapped out. If a sales leader jumps on, they're doing it for them and say, hey, watch me do this. And then they're frustrated because they're like, I did it for them. Like, how are they not picking this up? The reason they're not picking it up is because they don't understand why you're doing it the way that you are. You are thinking it. You're saying that certain thing. You're digging in at certain points because you know what matters and you know why you're doing it. If you want to get your sales reps to have that same level, ideally, yes, they just pick it up. They know like, oh yeah, you did it that way because it means this. They're reading the playbook and they're like, oh yeah, we are finding out this information because it's going to have this impact. That's ideal. But we want our sales teams to grow and not just get lucky with the people that get it. Teach them. This may be something brand new to them and they have never had any experience like this. So they're not picking up what you're putting down. Map it out very clearly for them. Now, let me share an example with you. In my basketball days, I'm 5'2". I'm a point guard. I'm 5'2". And when I'm playing D1 basketball, I'm playing against 6-foot point guards. They got long arms and I've got to be able to get around them. If I want to drive, if I want to cut, I got to do things very precisely. And the thing with it is for me and knowing how to play the game, it wasn't just about, hey, the play says I got to pass this way. It's how do I set it up? If I need to go this way, how do I shift my defense over so they think I'm going one way so that I can get it to the other? But it wasn't the coach saying, just dribble this way and then pass. If you want to shift your defense, this is how you do it. Understanding why I'm doing it, help me do it over and over again and be able to read the defense and say, they're in the spot that I need to be. I got to shift them and I got to make that move. If I want to make a cut or if I'm trying to drive on them, how I set that up, everything has to be precise versus just saying, drive on them. Well, how do I drive on them? Well, I need to know where I make my step and where I make that cut. So back to sales. When we're thinking about how do we get these sales reps to perform and do it at a high level, you got to do more than just say, this is how we do it. Discovery call. You have all the information that you have to gather, right? Well, do it in a way that says, this is why we're trying to gather this and this is where it matters. And then take that information from a demo standpoint, then you're taking all that information and you're saying, this is where that matters. You get what I'm saying here? When you're being able to take specific things that matter and you're taking them into the demo and say, this is how we're going to solve this problem, and this problem, and this is the impact for them. Now you're giving them the ability to have conversations with the prospect and try to focus in on them and less of your rigid process of step 1, step 2, step 3. And if they get lucky and the prospect really is engaged and they're like, oh yeah, this works great and I understand it, awesome. But again, we're trying to increase our close rate, not just stay average. So making sure that you're focusing in on what matters to them and the rep is able to think, why am I asking this question? Why does this matter? When do I dig deeper? And why does that matter when I do it? So that they can be able to understand down the line, this is where I'm going to put this information and this is how I'm going to solve this problem, and this problem, which is going to increase my close rate because now I'm adding value, not just doing my dog and pony show of my cool product. Cool products are awesome, except for they don't sell. People buy the value that you're adding. So focus in on the things that are going to add value and help your reps understand why they do it the way they do it so they can uncover more of that and close more deals.